Zimbabwe Tzu Chi volunteer who lost her family members to Cyclone Idai comforts others. Indonesia plans to cut down the usage of plastics nationwide with the new regulations. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. In Zimbabwe, among the volunteers on Tzu Chi's disaster relief team is a local volunteer, Jeam. She grew up in Chimanimani. In the aftermath of Cyclone Idai, the heavy rain took away 4 of her family's members. She was once in despair, but later dedicated herself to Tzu Chi's disaster relief work. Originally, this was a river, and several families live on both sides. On the night of March 14th, Cyclone Idai brought heavy rain to the area. As mountains cannot hold such a large amount of rainwater, rocks, mud, and wood slid down, injuring hundreds of people. In Chimanimani, the roads have been heavily damaged. Driving slowly, Tzu Chi volunteers assess the damages in the disaster area, which has recovered about less than 20%.
The rain coming by 8 to be 9 o'clock. So you think that the rain is already gone. Then the rain coming is like this. They take away all of them. If you see something, anything from that side, it wasn't touched. I don't know.
Next to the distant tree was once a bazaar with more than 100 shops. The heavy bolts of rain destroyed all the shops and washed away 7 people. 4 of them are Jane's family members who are still missing.
I think Busa can help me and solve my problem. What can I do? What can I go now?
With faith, Jane dedicated herself to the disaster relief work. She comforts other affected residents with her own personal experiences. The hugs and sharing help soothe the 2 people's pain and suffering.
There are six people died. It also touched. So we just go and sharing. So today now I'm better. Because we come to Chimanimani, because to give him the food, because of Tzu Chi. If there is no Tzu Chi, nothing here.
Jane's sharing has given affected residents strength. The affected residents' response has also helped Jane walk out of her despair. She will continue to help other people in need, creating a ripple effect of great love. In Indonesia, to help the cyclone-affected residents in Africa, Tzu Chi volunteers have held a charity event. Meanwhile, 2 Tzu Chi Kindergartens in Malaysia have also held an event to pray for the affected residents.
To help the 3 cyclone-affected countries in Africa, Indonesia Tzu Chi volunteers have conducted a second-hand goods charity event at the Jeam Hall. Volunteers have started to hold this kind of event in February. Originally, the aim for this event was to help the Palu earthquake-affected residents. Now the African countries are facing severe natural disaster. Therefore, the event direction has changed.
Dharma Master Denyen often mentions about small donations could help many people in need. Although we didn't raise much from the second-hand goods, but if we keep doing this, at the end, we can accumulate more. And at the same time, we can invite more people to do good deeds with us.
We can find a variety of second-hand goods at the venue. Most of them came from the volunteers or the parents of Tzu Chi schools. As one can see, love was accumulated and will be spread across the world. Everyone hopes the residents can get back on their feet as soon as possible. Meanwhile, in Malaysia, children from DaAi Kindergarten in Kapong sincerely pray for the affected residents in Eastern Africa.
All of us should have a heart filled with compassion. Every day we'll teach our children to be grateful at all times, as well as having kindness in their hearts to send best wishes to others.
There is money inside the corn banks, in which it can help people in need. They don't have food to eat, so they are very sad. We need to save money for those who are affected by the disaster.
If you drop 5 cents into the coin bank every day, you can help them buy a brick, because they're building many houses over there.
Cultivating one's compassionate giving can start at a young age. These children have also done their part, helping the 3 cyclone-affected countries in Eastern Africa.
The World Economic Forum has released a report this year saying that there are 150 million tons of garbage in the ocean surrounding Indonesia. To combat the problem, the Indonesian government has promised to stipulate new regulations to cut down the use of plastic bags. The recent report by World Economic Forum points out that there are 150 million tons of ocean garbage. What is worse is that by 2050, the amount of garbage will surpass the number of living creatures in the ocean. Answering the call of Global Plastic Action Partnership, Indonesia has promised to reduce the use of plastics nationwide. Indonesia is the second country in the world that uses the most plastic products. Currently, Indonesian government is stipulating a national regulation to cut down the use of plastic bags.
Tidak ingin plastik itu industrinya rusak. Ya, itu jelas juga. Jadi kita cari.
We cannot let the plastic manufacturing industry go out of business. Therefore, we're looking for solutions and substituting industries. To be honest, with the new policies, we can see its effects in 2 to 3 years.
Waste to energy ini jalan, mestinya menurut saya akan banyak sekali perubahan dalam 2-3 tahun ke depan ini.
The coordinating minister of Maritime Affairs points out that with the new environmental protection policies, the Indonesian government can reduce 70% of the ocean garbage and 30% of the solid waste. They expect to recycle 70% of the solid waste by 2025.
Saat ini Kementerian LHK sedang menyusun peraturan Menteri LHK terkait dengan roadmap.
The Ministry of Environment and Forestry is planning new policies that will be targeting the manufacturing industry, the retailers, and the food service sector. All of them use a large amount of plastic bags.
Kedua adalah retail, supermarket, market, pasar, dan yang ketiga adalah usaha jasa makanan yang dalam kemasan makanan, minuman, mereka masih menggunakan plastik.
Indonesia's Ministry of Environment and Forestry plans that in the next 10 years, they'll advocate for the manufacturers to adopt environmental concepts in their packaging process. In Indonesia, the Bogor city government has implemented a new policy banning the use of plastic bags in supermarkets. In half a year, the amount of plastic waste has been reduced.
We can find many announcements banning the use of plastic bags inside the supermarkets. In Indonesia, the government of Bogor City is trying their best to solve the problem of plastic waste. On a daily basis, the amount of garbage inside the city can reach 650 tons. 5% of the waste are plastic bags.
For now, we only talk about the amount of garbage. We haven't mentioned the topic of health as well as the impacts on the environment. Therefore, we really need to make some changes in order to improve the environment. We can learn from other cities that have banned plastic bags.
After implementing the new policy, the public members have started to use reusable or paper bags. The government officials will regularly visit 23 local supermarkets, making sure that they have banned plastic bags. The residents are adopting the new change slowly. They will check if they have their reusable bags before leaving their houses. Environmental protection has now become imperative in the city.
I just brought some books and I didn't use plastic bags because we need to reduce the amount of garbage in our city. With a reusable bag, I can keep reusing it. Next time when I go buy something, I don't need to use plastic bags, but instead I can use the reusable bags.
Besides the supermarkets, the government decided to implement the policy in the traditional market soon.
We can see the amount of garbage has reduced, especially the plastic waste. Our residents have changed their living habits for the better as well. Many of them do not use plastic bags anymore.
The policy of ban plastic bags has begun in December 2018, and it has successfully reduced 7% of plastic waste from going inside the landfill.
2 years ago, Indonesian villages' ditches were filled with garbage. A local villager had come up with a plan to turn the ditches into fish ponds. Not only have the ditches become cleaner, but local villagers also started to change their living habits.
At the local village of Bogor City in Java Barat province, we can find fish swimming in the clean ditch. It's hard to imagine 2 years ago this ditch was polluted, filled with garbage, emanating a foul odor. The garbage also had blocked the entire ditch. At that time, the environment was badly affected. Therefore, a local villager, Irifa Satiri, had come up with a plan to improve the situation. By turning all the ditches into fish farming places, he has brought good changes.
Yang menjadi konsep dari ini adalah kita punya pemikiran.
From the very beginning, the idea was to turn the ditch to a fish pond without anything blocking it, so we can clearly see the fish inside the water. First, we tried from 30 meters, and after testing it, we extended the pond to 100 meters. During the process, we also realized that many villagers wanted to do fish farming. Not only this plan can make our environment more beautiful and clean, but also it can inspire the villagers to change their habits of littering.
Kita memang adalah supaya ini sungai memang betul-betul bebas dari sampah.
Within 2 years of time, the villagers have extended the fish pond to 300 meters. Inside the pond, we can find fish cages. Each cage is 3 meters long, and one household is responsible for looking after one cage. As for feeding the fish, these fishes like to eat rice, vegetables, and clean kitchen waste. Through this village experience, we can learn that by working together, we can create a beautiful and clean environment.
In Malaysia, Kelantan City volunteers began caring for a dialysis patient, Lama, 4 years ago. In addition, volunteers provided financial assistance to them. Now, Lama does recycling to reciprocate City's assistance.
Encik Rahmat, sekarang nak pergi buat apa? Sekarang kita nak pergi ambil barang-barang tepi jalan, padang ke.
Lama is a Tzu Chi care recipient. If he has time and strength, he will ride his motorcycle to collect the recyclable items.
Tzu Chi has been helping me and my family a lot. I was thinking about what I should do to give back to the volunteers. Then I thought about doing recycling or making monthly donation as well as collecting the recyclable items.
The volunteers met Lama when they were there to distribute scholarships. At that time, Lama's family was struggling with financial difficulties due to dialysis treatment.
After I got sick, I began my dialysis treatment. I received subsidies from Social Security Institution and Workers' Compensation. My family lives on low income. Tzu Chi volunteers have helped me a lot. I'm very thankful.
We have accompanied them and have been listening to what they want to say. We want to let them know that there's always someone to talk to.
Volunteers have accompanied his family for 4 years. They invited both Lama and his wife to join the volunteer work. At the end, the entire family started to do recycling.
The volunteers are like my parents. They have come to our house and helped us. I hope by coming here, I can help the volunteers as well.
Although we did not collect many recyclable items, and the ones we collected are not worth much, but I still hope I can help Tzu Chi through recycling. This is my way of helping people.
As we can see, not only have Lama and his family overcome their difficulties, but they have also started to help others in need.
In Malaysia, an Indian Tzu Chi care recipient has amputated one of his legs due to diabetes. As a result, his wife has to shoulder the family's financial burdens. Tzu Chi volunteers and a Timak doctor have been visiting the family, encouraging them.
Tengok tadi ini Nana sudah keluar. Kaki cuci sampai dia bersih-bersih.
Saya kerja dekat kedai nombor.
I work at a lottery stand. My husband works at a car workshop. With his current condition, he's unable to work. I'm stressed out having to bear the tuition fees of my school-going children. I don't have enough money.
His wife has to shoulder all the responsibilities for the family by herself. As the family pillar, he must have been hard on her.
He refused to see doctors. He was afraid that they would amputate his leg.
He feared going to the hospital, so his wife bought some medications to clean his wound at home. But the more the wound was cleaned, the worse it became. He constructed a fever from the infection that led him suffering, but he still refused to go to the hospital.
The condition of his leg was quite severe. I hesitated at the door as the stench was unbearable.
After Dr. Lim conducted medical home visit, he was willing to go to the hospital with Dr. Lim's encouragement.
I thought I have diabetes and the wound on my legs was getting worse. I need to go on living. I have a family to raise. After a lot of thought, I agreed to amputate my leg.
His leg had been amputated, but he wouldn't give up on himself. He has set his sights on the future and makes plans for himself.
Now my wound has healed, all is well. Even the doctor gave the green light to my health. I am well now. I feel happy to be able to live to see my wife and children. I'm very grateful. I don't know Tzu Chi, and we have different religions. In addition, they're Chinese, while I'm Indian. We're like chalk and cheese. We're not biologically related, but Tzu Chi provides relief regardless of ethnicities. They're willing to offer aid. We must respect them.
Saya pun sekarang tenang sekali lah. Banyak gembira loh, banyak terima kasih loh.
Now I have peace of mind. I'm very happy and very thankful. I'm at a loss for words. When my financial situation allows, I'll do my best to help other less fortunate people.
Tzu Chi volunteer Zhang Li Yuhua once felt depressed because of her husband's wayward behaviors. Fortunately, she walked out of despair by joining Tzu Chi's flower arrangement class. Then she overcame more challenges when the economic crisis in 1997 hit.
Tzu Chi volunteer Zhang Li Yuhua's husband was addicted to socializing and alcohol. He would even spend the whole entire night out. Seeing her husband being like this really broke her heart.
I was heartbroken at the time. My husband and I argued all the time. He wouldn't stop drinking and hanging out with the wrong crowds, so I wanted a divorce, but he wouldn't accept it.
While not being able to solve her marital problems, she decided to alter her state of mind by joining the Jeam flower arrangement class.
Having the chance to join the flower arrangement class, I've learned more about the values in life. I developed a positive mindset, changing myself for the better. I also began to find happiness in life. Everything seemed clear to me again.
Through the flower arrangement class, Zhang Li Yuhua realized the meaning of life. She also learned how to improve her communication skills in her marriage. However, life is very unpredictable. In one instant, the family began to face challenges in life again due to financial crisis.
Back then, I couldn't sleep and eat most of the time. Every day, I had to face multiple financial issues in which I didn't know how to solve. At that time, a friend of mine suggested to me to just close down the business. For me, it was really a hard decision to make. One day, I watched a DaAi drama on DaAi TV. After watching the entire series, I realized that the main character suffered more hardships than me. She went through a lot, and if she was able to overcome the difficulties, why couldn't I do the same? So I courageously told myself that I needed to step up and move forward in life.
While struggling with financial problems, Zhang Li Yuhua still went and volunteered in Tzu Chi activities. However, her children weren't so understanding of her decisions at that time.
Our family business was in crisis. We thought, shouldn't that be the priority? So how come our mother was still volunteering with Tzu Chi? Then she told us a very important factor, which was it made her very happy to do volunteer work. When she told us the reason, we finally understood and accepted her decisions.
Our mother was constantly worried about the situation of the family business. Therefore, my brother and I did our very best not to add any more burden into our parents' lives. In addition, we also encouraged our mother by telling her that everything will turn out okay in the end.
I told my children that we cannot simply run away from life's problems. We needed to face the challenges head-on. Just like what Dharma Master Zenyen had once said, that in life we will encounter many difficulties. As long as you face it with courage and strength, there's nothing that you cannot get over.
The family has stuck together through all the challenges presented to them over the years. Although her husband had passed away due to illness, but seeing her children each starting their own families and being successful in their jobs, she's ever so grateful.
I wanted to thank my husband for making me stronger. It's because of all the challenges he threw my way over the years, I built up my inner strength. I'm grateful for my children as well. They have accompanied me through everything. The Dharma teachings have guided us onto the right path, leading us toward the right directions in life.
人生的正确的方向。
Taichung Tzu Chi volunteer Li Su used to have a very bad temper. Whenever she was feeling upset, she would go to temples, but it never solved her problems. One day she heard Dharma Master Zhenyan said, "Be gentle even when you're right." Therefore, she changed her mindset and attitude. It's number 5 that we recycle.
Li Su is very knowledgeable about recycling. She is good at sorting miscellaneous items.
She's very helpful. She'll notice details that I miss.
Li Su once experienced a lot of hardships in life. 2 car accidents forced her family to spend all the money they had. It became a major challenge to the love between her and her husband.
I was right, so I argued with him. We argued very loudly, but then I discovered the more we argued, the louder our voices were.
Whenever she ran into problems, she would go to all kinds of temples to seek divine help. But it was useless. She later realized she had to change herself first.
One day I saw the master talking on DaAi TV, saying that even if you were right about something, you should still remain soft-spoken and amicable. Then there will be harmony in the family. Therefore, I changed. My husband also became more considerate towards me.
Li Su was touched by her husband's new attitude. Her husband now cooks for the family and also grows vegetables with her. Their family is more harmonious. While cleaning the ground in a recycling station, Li Su has some afterthoughts.
When I was sweeping the floor with a broom, the sound was like me scolding someone. But when I stopped, the floor became clean and my mind became quiet.
Having changed her mindset, Su has let go of her worries and tribulations.
In Taiwan, various Tzu Chi locations held a joint half-day cultivation event. At one event venue, Tzu Chi's Humanitarian Culture Center, volunteers also inspire people's compassionate giving to help the cyclone-affected residents in Eastern Africa. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.